Justin, they were ousted from the Tennessee legislature last week due to their protest on gun reform legislation after people were murdered in their state. Yeah,
Nashville school
gun violence,
shooting.
a mass shooting that happened there, like they do so so often. So I'll give the old American standard prayers and thoughts because we do. Told y'all how I feel about that shit. But anyway, yeah, he was ousted from the state legislature. What's interesting about that, and why I said we still don't white people being crazy, because they were not the only two people involved in the protest that they were involved in. There was another person, the third person, the person who remains nameless. I don't know her name, but her name was mentioned, but I don't know it. I ain't look it up. But a white woman, though.
A
Now,
white
all
woman.
three of these, yes, that on the end, in the black and white shirt, yeah, her there. So all three of these individuals were up for expulsion, and only two of them were actually expelled.
Hmm.
White woman was not, however, she was spared and um, allowed to stay on the state legislature because reasons. What reasons? Well, according to her, because she white. She said it. I didn't.
Oh,
I
well,
agree.
then,
I agree with her. I agree.
right.
I agree with whole. You are 100% right. I
What,
agree. You are
what are we
correct.
talking about?
I also appreciate you standing up for that. But again, this is not an invitation to the cookout. Just want to be clear. I feel like I have to give a disclaimer every time I give give a kudo.
To a white person.
Yeah, because I don't want them to get comfortable.
Cookout, here we come.
Cool,
Yeah.
but don't get comfortable.
Seasoned food. Yay. Face ass.
Yep.
Hey, I applaud this nigga for looking like a 1970s fucking character of an actual African American.
Oh,
That
hey, look, hey, look, hey, look, hey, look. He looks like a character from Five on the Black Hand Side,
nigga.
and he acts like
Next.
a character from Five on the Black Hand Side.
I
If you
commend.
were to see his reinstatement speech from today, this man got up there and performed like he was a Baptist preacher.
Bam. I commend the brother. That's why I wanted to go with this last because he definitely needs his own show. He needs his own everything. He
Hey, look,
definitely needs our support and his. I commend the lady who interviewed him in that short clip because she was on her
oh,
shit.
you're talking about Tesla and Figueroa.
She was on her shit, boy.
I fuck, I fucks with her.
She was like she had her own points that she wanted that nigga to hit that he was missing.
So she
She
throwing the lobs.
she
Oh,
was like,
she hit it with the corrective assist. She gave that
they
motherfucker.
wasn't even
She gave,
fucking
she
lobs,
gave that
boy.
motherfucker. She got the rebound and gave him the shot back.
Nigga. She reset. They wasn't even lobs, boy. They was like real.
Oh, I got it. Shoot it again. Try it
They
again.
was
Try it
real.
again.
They
Try it
was
again.
real
Square your
questions.
shoulders. Square your shoulders. Set your elbow right. Perpendicular. There you go.
No, nigga. It was even worse than that, nigga. He was so righteous in his endeavor. She was asking him real cock block ass fucking questions because she knew that his endeavor was righteous, and
Well,
So
people
he was
should.
gonna have
she
the right answer
she
for
she
it.
a-
Yeah,
she asked him a very pertinent question and a very good question while we
she
started the
was
interview.
asking him some
So
very aggressive questions. They
so
wasn't hardball
no,
questions.
no, for example, and one of the good questions I thought he was there talking about the events that led to the expulsion. What happens is the chair in their legislature recognizes members of the House to speak, and that's how you get to talk. What he said was he typically requests to speak, raise your hand, do the proper procedure to get that. He doesn't get called on very often, and it's because it's opposition led control of that particular house. It's Republican led house, and they play by the tactics of was my shit, so I ain't fucking with you. They've been doing this for quite some time now to this gentleman, and so he decided to, because they're going to keep doing this. Now I have no alternative other than to proceed this way. And he was going on to talk about the protest before he talked about how he went through the legitimate channels and processes to resolve his grievance. And they were trying to make him, they they're trying to make him in the media look like a person that was unprepared, that was trying to circumvent the system, that do a lot of unconventional things because he doesn't know how to do stuff. And she checked him and she said, what did you do before that? Because you knew that the actions could result in you being expelled. So why didn't you do why did you do it in the proper way first? You muted yourself. And then he said, oh, well, I did. I forgot. Yeah, I did do. And then he went on to explain all the shit that he did the proper way to get the point across and to no avail. And which painted a picture as to why they would go to the measures they would go to get their message across. But she did that a couple of times in the interview, but she did what a good attorney would do. She knew the answer to the question before she asked it.
But she asked that motherfucker
because she wanted you to say the answer.
But the thing is, she was so precise in her wording. It appeared to have zero bias in it. It appeared to be a completely subjective, very objective question.
Yeah.
Like, it appeared to be what an interviewer should be. A clean slate. He had every chance to fumble that question. Like, that question would have done major damage to whatever narrative he was trying to paint had he fumbled it. But he came in, boy. It's like them motherfuckers was like Pee Wee Kirkland, nigga, and Sham God out there.
Pee Wee Kirkland and Sham God. It's like when Dr. J came to the Rucker, baby.
Nigga. She asked that. She said there was proper channels. Why didn't you go through them, motherfucker? Oh well, I tried. She's like, well, why did y'all come in there with bullhorns and like? You know, wasn't that a bit obsequious?
Well, they cut the microphones off.
Well, they cut the microphones off. So nigga.
Yeah. And she did something else. I want to point this out. It's interesting that you picked up on her being objective. She's a very objective individual. She seems to be very impartial as to her approach. She has one particular agenda, and that's for the proliferation of black people. That's pretty much about it, as far as I can tell. She don't give a fuck about anything else. Black people, her people, is we getting what we supposed to get? Is we progressing?
Hey, good.
So she holds everybody accountable. I wish I could remember the motherfucking name, but it's the shooting happened in one of the Democratic representatives district. Morris Mills, I can't remember the fucking name, but she was like, why is he being silent in this right now? I don't like when they send the black people out to be the sacrificial lambs. They put you all out in front, put the battery in your back to do all of the bullshit. You get the brunt, and then they sit back quietly, not pressing the issue vocally, oftentimes siding with those very same Republicans in the eyes of decorum and respectability in the chamber and all this other bullshit. We call out that on the Republican side, but we don't call that out on the Democratic side. And Justin was doing that very thing, and she was like, "No, no, 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 no. We gonna call out that Democrat, your colleague, also that's about that same bullshit that these motherfuckers that we calling out. Because how we gonna call him out and not call him out? He's not helping. He's not part of the solution. Therefore, he's part of the problem.
Afghanistan's.
Hey, look, pretty much. I guess I don't know.
But yeah, she's a bad motherfucker, man.
Yeah.